Okay, so I'm out for a run, and usually when I'm on a run, right? I don't entertain anybody's calls, anybody's messages, but this is too damn pretty. So I'm gonna run for you guys, and the audio may not be the best because I'm actually running, but enjoy the visuals. Okay, I'm actually gonna slow down because the video stabilization might really go for a toss. But you know what? It's worth it. Look at this. It's worth slowing down for this. So what you can see in front of you is the entire town of Dharamshala. Okay? There. Right there. I'm gonna zoom in right now. Okay, there are like a million houses there. Not able to focus the camera. But basically that's Dharamshala. And there are two rivers. One river is there. The other one is there. Here. I can hear it. I'm not sure if you can. But we're gonna keep walking. My sports timer, well, yeah, it's still going. But it's okay, you know. When you're in the mountains, you can't always run. Like for the part coming up, it's pretty steep. And I'm someone who likes to have different places to run at. I don't like to run at the same place. So I like a change of scenery, and this was certainly worth it. It was a bit tiring to come up, and after a point you realize that it's actually faster to climb up like walking with big steps than it is to jog up. So I stopped running, I started walking, and actually went faster. And you can still maintain a good heart rate. Well, it's showing 125 for me right now. It's like 1 kilometer 89 done. But I think my heart is beating faster than that at this moment. I can tell by the tone of my voice. Usually when I record videos and ASMRs, I'm really silent. I have a really soft, soothing voice. I don't think I have it right now. So here's me. This is how I look when I run. And it was a cold day, and I was just really cold staying at home. I'm not used to. Can you see me blowing the fog condensation? So it was pretty cold to be at home, so I dressed up with gloves and my tight full sleeve top, bracing myself for the cold. But when you start running, your body gets really hot, and it's really recommended for anybody who's just feeling cold where they are, right? Just go for a run, because not only is your body gonna heat up then, but it's going to kind of light up the fire, and your metabolism is going to increase, and so your body is going to remain warm like throughout the day. This feels good. Yeah, it was tiring, but as soon as you stop, you realize the rush of blood to your body, and it just feels amazing after a workout. So I do encourage you. Okay, back to the sights. I'm really hoping that the video stabilization on my phone is doing a good job, because I'm not. I'm shaking the camera so much. And once again, I can hear the river. I'm just gonna shut up for a moment to it's only really taxis I've seen going by. So I'm gonna show you the river in a moment. But first, let's enjoy the sunset. The beautiful sun that's available anywhere in the world, looks the same everywhere and yet looks different every time you see it from every different angle, and takes your breath away every single day. I wish I could just stop running and keep looking at this. But there's the river. Let's zoom in now. There. Am I pointing correctly? Yeah, that's one river. There, as you can see. That's the river. And then there is another river here. And I guess this one's more clear. This one's the one closer to my place. And I go to it every other day. I've been to the water once and it was just absolutely beautiful. Just sitting in, wetting your feet and just watching the water go by, hearing the sound of the flowing water. Can't really ask for more in life. I think this is one of the few things that really makes me come alive. Being out in nature, but especially being in the mountains. And I realized over the last year or two that I really love the river as well. And I'm so grateful that I'm living close to a river. I guess any river would have done, even like the Ganga would have done. I mean, I would be more than happy. But I'm grateful to have a modest river, a small river, so that I can actually sit by it and it doesn't actually overwhelm me with the sound. So I'm gonna keep walking, okay? Because I'm still in the middle of a workout. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this recording. I thought I was gonna run the first probably half a minute I was running. I hope not too many people tuned out of watching it because it was shaking. At least it was for me. Oh man, these mountains. And also I'm really grateful to be in a different sort of mountains, in a different sort of paysage or landscape to the one I'm so familiar with in Dharamshala. Basically in Dharamshala, you're used to seeing certain mountain range, the Dhauladhar, which is also visible from here, but at a slightly different angle. And for the most part, whenever you see shots of mountains in the distance taken from Dharamshala, they all look kind of similar. It's not the case. I mean, they're all similar to each other here, but it's very different from Dharamshala. And so I'm happy about that. And this is actually the path that we came from, this road going up, and then it's kind of looping in and coming here. As you can see, the slope is pretty steep. Wow. I just saw a car going by there and I just realized how steep I had been running or trying to run and then just giving up. Car coming by, big car, move aside. Continue walking. Isn't that how AI assistants sound? I'm just taking a lot of screenshots and I guess it also gives you an opportunity to pause for a second and look around. And I think I'm recording this at 1080p. I really should start recording it at 4K. It's gonna look so much more real, natural, alive, as I can see it here. And then at times when I record it at 60 FPS, it looks so good. And I'll tell you something very interesting. So when I'm recording at 60 FPS, I start to look at that thing through the camera, and I realize how beautiful that actually is, and how vibrant it actually is, and I'm able to see it in a high frames per second. And then I tune out of the camera and I look at that thing, and then I'm able to see it at 60 FPS or 120 FPS or something like that. So sometimes our body, our mind is just processing things unconsciously, and sometimes it takes you to look through a camera to be able to see what the camera is seeing, and then to be able to appreciate that and basically just be in the moment and see reality for what it is, in its full dimension, in its full definition, right? Yeah. When have you seen things around in high definition and been like, wow, this looks so clear, this looks so high definition, my eyes are such high megapixels, right? Because they are. Somebody did some study about how many megapixel the eyes is. I think it's around 100, or let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. There was a certain number. So I guess after a point our technology is going to go past the amount of definition that a human eye can capture. And what would that be like? I wonder if you'll be able to tell. Still going down. Again, you can see like how much the slope really is, and this is like the kind of the junction. I live on that side there, basically there, and down here is the Kanyara market, and this road up, well, I wanted to discover it, and I'm doing that right now. And it turns out that on this road there is nothing, no shops, no homes, no village, no homestay, none of it. It's just road and trees and shrubs and nature, which is amazing for running. It's just a little bit too steep. I guess I can, come here when I really want to give myself a challenge. But apart from that, I think I'm going to be sticking to more or less plain areas. You can see everything here is on a slope, which is really beautiful, I think. However, if you have issues due to age, due to a condition, whether it's a spine issue, a leg issue, it's gonna be a problem, right? Because there's no flat ground. You're either climbing up or climbing down. But trust me, your body adapts, just like the body adapts to cold, to any temperature. I arrived in Canada from India. In India it was like 32. I went to Canada and it was already like, was it 4 degrees or was it negative? And then obviously it got colder and colder, and you know how cold it gets in a place like Toronto or Montreal. And it was still pretty cold when I came back to India, although the summer had started. And then suddenly I come to India and it's like 30, 32. And then before I came to Himachal, the temperature was 34 on that day while I was about to board the flight. And then I come here and it was 16. And then within a few days it has gone to 10 degrees and 9 degrees. and it's really a shock to the body. And I have to say, Indian winters are more severe than Canadian winters, because honestly in Canada, apart from the few minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes that I was out on the road with fully covered up with my gloves and cap and everything, jacket, and apart from the times when I was running, which is amazing by the way, to beat the heat, I was never really exposed to the cold. I've always been in heating, and that too I'm used to like really good quality heating, so like 22 degrees, something like that, 22, 24. The most recent place I was staying in had the temperature really high up. It was like 75 degrees, so it was really warm. I was very, very comfortable. I would say it was so comfortable that sometimes you didn't realize that there was winter going on outside, and there were snowstorms, and the outside was fully covered with snow, and I couldn't tell, right? Like it was just like, it's just like you maybe watching it on a video. You can't tell what the real temperature is outside. You don't have a bodily feel for it because it's so warm inside. But here it's different. Here you feel every degree, right? So when it gets cold, it's gonna hit you. There's no heating. Well, there is, but it's really expensive and nobody really turns it on, so you avoid using heating until it's absolutely necessary. India is a country of margins, and it's all relative. It's also expensive to use heating in Canada, but then everything is expensive, so it's just normal. Over here, heating is a big expense. Once again, showing you this beautiful post-sunset red clouds before heading back home. I think we are done for the duration of today's video, and I hope you enjoyed listening to the stories. At this point, I've literally started ranting anything. I'm just literally talking. I guess that's what YouTubers and bloggers do. I still get conscious when my face is in front of the camera. When the camera is looking the other way, I'm just shooting nature. There is no issue. But looking at myself in front of the camera, as everyone, as you probably, I feel shy. I feel conscious. Despite making so many videos, despite being in front of so many people. So again, I hope you enjoyed watching this. This has been more candid, more in the moment, just sharing whatever stories, whatever anecdotes from life I come across. And it's also entirely recorded in portrait resolution, orientation. I've tried to record landscape in the past, and it probably looks better on a computer, but then this looks better on a phone, hopefully. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for being there with me. I'll show you the scene another time before. Here you go. Goodbye mountains. Until next time. Wait for my next video. See you everyone.